Disclaimer, I do not dislike CinemaSins, and that is not a lie. For my next Everything Wrong with CinemaSins video, I'm going to be seeing their video on Toy Story 3, and like I said in the community post, this is the video that I'm uploading on Gabriel Ortiz's birthday. Enjoy, everyone.
45 seconds of Disney and Pixar basically 69ing each other.
Jeremy doesn't know how to begin a video without logo complaining cliche.
Boy, Andy's toy-based daydreams got a budget increase, no?
Well, yeah, and I personally think it's creative to have this sequence actually in Andy's imagination, so I don't really see any problems here.
Even if this is in some kid's imagination, Jessie and Bullseye were nowhere near the back of this train in order to save Woody. Take that, imagination.
Seriously, you don't need to do that when using your imagination, and that's what it's all, really.
Imagination.
Also, all Toy Story movies must open with a fantasy sequence. The first one had Woody's Old West adventures, the second had the T-Rex playing the video game that was supposedly real for a few minutes, and this one has this. That's what you call the formula, kids.
Okay, since Tyler Prather already explained the purpose of the ones for the first two films, I'll just give my own explanation of the one for this one. Since this film came out 11 years after Toy Story 2, it's supposed to remind us how much Andy loved his toys before we see that he's a teenager.
I brought my attack dog with a built-in force field.
Well, I brought my dinosaur who eats force field dogs.
Andy's imagination has improved greatly, but he still does the old force field dog dinosaur who eats the force field dogs routine.
Well, why not? I mean, when I played with toys, I usually had similar elements in the many different adventures that I came up with.
Even in the young Andy era depicted by this video, I still can't believe he's still enamored with his Woody doll. Woody was practically replaced in the first movie by Buzz Lightyear, but because of some bullshit, he suddenly gets equal billing in Andy's mind.
Well, when Andy lost Woody in the first film, he was shown to miss him greatly, which shows that he loves him as much as he loves Buzz.
Wait, I can't find my other eye.
Then why did you take it out in the first place? Also, didn't previous movies show us your organs still work even when not attached? So why not just look through that eye to figure out where it is, right?
It's almost like she does exactly that later, but you cut that part out.
I'd better find my other eye.
Where'd you leave it this time?
Someplace dark and dusty.
And to be honest, ever since I sinned your turning red video, I've begun to notice your scene manipulations a lot more often.
Who are we kidding? The kid's 17 years old.
He's 17 and still has a gigantic toy chest prominently featured in his room.
Oh, yeah.
We've lost friends along the way. Wheezy and Etch and Bo Peep.
I guess these toys weren't worth having an adventure for. Also, holy shit, movie hints at an even darker Toy Story 3 storyline regarding the fate of Bo Peep, but then it passes it by like it's no big deal.
What's dark about that? All Woody's implying here is that Wheezy, Etch, and Bo Peep were simply given away, which is a normal thing to happen.
And those guys from the Christmas decorations box, they're fun, right?
How many inanimate objects come to life in this world? Christmas decorations? Are they infused with the life of toys? That classic Toy Story decision, will Andy pick Buzz or Woody? And to my amazement, it's Woody.
Well, why is that surprising? It's established throughout this franchise that Woody is the one toy that Andy has always felt the closest to. And Tyler did say this already, but I'll still say that because of that, that's why he's initially hesitant to give him to Bonnie at the end of the film.
I can't breathe.
But you can breathe in the toy chest, I guess. And what happens if you can't breathe for too long? Do you finally become a real toy?
Possibly, but what I think Jessie's saying is that she's having a panic attack due to her past trauma with her previous owner, Emily.
And this entire movie's events happen because this one American home has an exceptionally springy pull-down attic door. Do I have that right?
Yes, and every single movie happens because of one specific thing. The Princess and the Frog happens because Lawrence loosens the lid on Naveen's jar. Holes happens because Zero throws the shoes over the bridge overpass. An escape room happens because all the players were sole survivors of tragic accidents, even though that wasn't actually the case for Jason. Do you get it?
What are the odds that the garbage truck is 3 f***ing houses away right at this moment? Astronomical, you say?
Well, what are the odds that you're saying something that's intentionally supposed to happen in the movie here?
Buzz! Jesse!
And that should end this little adventure. This should have been a Pixar short that ended right here. Unfortunately, some total bullshit is about to happen to allow the rest of this movie to take place.
Yeah, I know, it looks bad, but guys, you gotta believe me.
They should, but they don't.
And this scene might be the reason why.
No one's gonna want those old toys. They're junk.
Molly and I have been growing apart for years. It's just... I can't believe she would throw me away!
Okay, I'm going to ignore the blatant sexism and having a Barbie doll meltdown like Sharon Stone in Casino and focus on the fact that it was clearly not Molly's preference to get rid of any toys, but her mom commanded it.
You're right about that, but you're forgetting that her mom said to her, you choose the toys you want to donate, I'll drop him off at Sunnyside. So Molly donating Barbie was her decision, not her mom's.
Come and pull.
First thing you gotta know about me, I'm a hugger.
This is exactly what Uncle Henry said to me just before he took me out behind the, hey, is that a purple dinosaur?
1, yes. 2, Jeremy says something random cliche. And also, just like in the Iron Giant video, even though I give you 10 sins every time I say that line, for this one here, I'll be nice and just give you one again.
Maybe Andy doesn't care about us anymore.
This movie gets so much mileage out of that upstairs hallway trash bag misunderstanding.
Well, aside from Andy calling them junk, they were also taken out to the curb by his mom.
He was putting you in the attic. I saw. You can't just...
All toys disregard or flat out don't hear this statement. At this point, doesn't Woody deserve the benefit of the doubt?
See the previous sin.
Woody ratatouilles his way out of this situation.
Yeah? So?
Luckily, Woody's hat is blown by the breeze straight into the kite ex machina that he will use to get off this roof.
I wouldn't exactly call this a Deus Ex Machina because Woody's plan with it backfires when the wind blows him high into the air.
How many films can claim wind as an actual antagonist? Like this one and Twister, I guess, right? Oh, The Happening!
So, are you aware that the kite wasn't actually a Deus Ex Machina, or...
Thankfully for Woody, in this film's plot, a 3-year-old girl happened to be walking right here at this moment all by herself.
But Bonnie's not by herself because when we last saw her, she was walking with her mom to their car.
In the end, though, is this any different from what Andy did to these toys when he was filming the train robbery sequence in his head? He put those toys through hell, right? But this is supposed to be worse?
Yes, this is supposed to be worse because Andy never did to the toys what the toddlers do to them in this scene. And what I just said is further supported by Rex later saying...
Andy never played with us like that.
Also, I'll admit this toddler stampede is hilarious, but the fact that none of these world-wise toys who lived with a toddler for years picked up on the fact that daycare might not be so awesome.
Well, before the toys met Lotso, they saw the older kids in the butterfly room playing with toys the way they're meant to be played with. So it makes sense to me that they wouldn't know that they'd be played with by toddlers.
You're doing great.
Are you classically trained?
Is there a situation where one of these toys broke character? Even in the first movie, Buzz, as deluded as he was, didn't break character, and Woody only did it in an emergency to that evil kid Sid, who's a serial killer now.
First of all, his name is spelled with an I, not a Y. Second of all, the garbage man we saw earlier in the movie is supposed to be Sid.
There's a Buzz Lightyear instruction manual just lying around in the library of a daycare.
Yeah.
When Buzz's factory setting was introduced to Andy's toys in the first movie, he was combative as hell. But in this movie, returning him to factory setting makes him programmable and controllable.
While it isn't shown, the movie does establish that Lotso manipulated Buzz into believing his friends are Emperor Zurg's minions, as well as telling him that the butterfly room is Star Command.
Where the f*** did he get that? Woody left it outside, remember? And who at this messy-ass daycare would have noticed it and actually put it back inside? Or else this suggests someone on Lotso's evil team managed to get outside the daycare walls to grab this hat here by the road.
Well, it is established in the film that Lotso knew of Woody's escape, so it's possible that someone on his team found and brought it to him earlier.
These toys now know how to use Google Maps.
Yeah, so how exactly is that wrong here?
It's right around the corner!
Because of course it is.
See the previous sin.
Daisy loved us all.
Let me guess, this ends with Daisy either losing or giving away her toys, much like what happened to Jessie in Toy Story 2, only this time without a song. I mean, don't all these toys have pretty much the same stories that keep leading us to the same kind of movies?
But there is a difference between how Lotso and Jessie dealt with what happened between them and their owners. Jessie dealt with Emily giving her away by believing that her true purpose was to become a collectible before accepting her actual true purpose, whereas Lotso dealt with being replaced by turning evil and torturing innocent toys, believing that toys are just trash waiting to be thrown away.
Also, ain't it great Woody found a home where one of the toys that broke out of Sunnyside used to hang with Lotso, and this backstory is going to be important to this movie's plot?
Well, yeah, without that, we wouldn't have a movie, my dude.
It took forever, but we finally made it back to Daisy's.
Homeward Bound, The Incredible Toy Travels.
Jeremy says something random cliche, and I'll be giving 10 cents this time.
Cast off. Unloved. Unwanted.
And riding on the back of a pizza truck from the first Toy Story.
This is you just telling us what we can see in the movie here.
Nothing but sand and a couple of Lincoln logs.
I don't think those were Lincoln logs.
Pixar steals the gross poop joke from DreamWorks Shrek movies.
Like I said in the Cars 2 video, the Shrek movies do not stand out from other movies in terms of their humor.
Between the Toy Story films and the Finding films, it's pretty obvious the bulk of Pixar writers and animators think children are demons.
But Andy and Bonnie are exceptions to that, and there are children in other Pixar films that aren't portrayed as demons, and I'll give 4 examples here. There's May, Arlo, Russell, and Dash.
There's only one way toys leave this place. Poor fella. Trash truck comes at dawn, then it's off to the dump.
So wait, can that toy not wake up like every other toy and simply get out of that trash or escape the trash truck? You know, if it were Woody, he would.
Maybe, but I think it's unlikely since these movies have almost always shown the toy vehicles to not be sentient.
This monkey sees everything unless he's being distracted by Mr. Potato Head, who has already been cornered by the other employees of Lotso's security detail.
Yeah, that's what's happening in the movie here.
Somehow, Toy Story 3 found room for a changing outfit montage, like we're watching Mrs. Doubtfire or Dumb and Dumber.
But this is here because Barbie wants Ken to tell her what Lotso did to Buzz and what they need to do in order to switch him back. This is why she previously feigned regret over leaving him the previous night so that he'd free her and she could get him to talk.
They basically rewrote all the rules of the Potato Head family to make this movie work.
Not really, since it's shown throughout this franchise that Mr. Potato Head's body parts still work when they aren't attached to his potato body.
Luckily, they did this on a night with a full moon, huh?
Yeah. So?
Caution! Do not hold button for more than 5 seconds.
Bitácora espacial.
Holding the Buzz Lightyear reset button for more than 5 seconds turns him into Antonio Banderas.
Yeah, so what exactly is the problem that you're having with Buzz going into Spanish mode here?
If you ever find yourself wondering how this third movie in a series is an hour and 45 minutes long, look no further than this scene here. Big Baby would be excellent at CinemaSins.
So are you implying that this fantastic movie is bad? If so, that is clearly not what your description suggests, meaning that either you or your description is lying, which has happened for other Everything Wrong With videos such as your Princess and the Frog video, and to quote the Birdman, you say this at the beginning.
Okay, I really don't like this movie.
But that isn't what your description suggests.
The needs of the one, oh god damn it, the needs of the many outweigh the it.
So you're sending the toys for attempting to rescue their friend?
Toys have the power to lift giant TVs up. Just wanted to let you guys know that.
Well, since you didn't explain why that's wrong here, I'm finally going to be giving out my award in this video.
It's not a Pixar movie unless the heroes are on some sort of giant conveyor belt of death.
More like, it's not a Pixar movie unless there are heartwarming moments.
Despite Lotso being basically the devil, Woody will still feel compelled to try and save him, ultimately endangering the lives of everyone else in the process. Hashtag just let Lotso die.
And Woody does this because he doesn't have the courage to let Lotso die despite everything that he put the toys through.
Mount Doom literal fires of hell make this children's movie dark as I have at least one niece that is scarred for life thanks to this movie.
Well, like I've said before, lots of animated movies have used dark things as a way to tell their stories.
Claw Ex Machina.
I wouldn't exactly call this a Deus Ex Machina, since this was foreshadowed when the aliens got separated from the others earlier.
Also, yep, those three somehow separated from the main group, then overpowered the humans in this claw control room, then figured out the claw controls in a matter of seconds.
Okay, for this sin, I'm gonna quote Tyler and say that it was shown in the movie how the aliens got separated earlier.
Also, how the f does this large-ass claw somehow pick up every single toy in danger without a single one slipping through the— oh, f it, like I really care.
Yeah, you shouldn't care at all since this is an animated movie.
Sure, this romance began when he was in Spanish mode, but still, what the f, right? All toys should be doing it.
Well, Jeremy, you do know that not every romantic relationship has to involve sex, right?
I had me one of these when I was a kid.
Movie couldn't just let Lotso get away with it. He had to be found by a garbage guy who actually loved this toy as a kid, but somehow is inexplicably punished by being hung up on a truck grill for some reason.
Wishing Lotso wasn't defeated. That's worth these many sins.
And he's still packing, but he's almost done.
Jeez, how long does it take for this asshole to pack?
Well, as someone who's currently a college student, I can tell you that packing for college can take at least a couple of days to do.
And so, we're assholes. This ending is extremely f***ing touching. Might even make you cry. I'm just gonna remove 5 sins and be done with it. But also, when I was Andy's age, I sold all my Transformers toys in a garage sale so I could pass them on and grow up, and I regretted it hard.
So you're undermining your sin removal because of something that has nothing to do with this movie. Okay then. And here's the end result, everybody. This in total was 345, and the sentence will be played within the Caterpillar room. Thank you for watching, everybody, and have a nice day.